Many congratulations, first of all, Dave, on a great day for you yesterday. A smallish yard you've got, and presumably it meant a lot to you.
Yeah, it was massive. It didn't come true, really. We've, as I said yesterday, we've dreamt of days like that for a very long time. We're only 4 years training. It's probably not taken us that long, considering where we started and the small number of horses we started with. But no, it was great. It was lovely to a lovely reward for myself, my wife Sarah, and for all the team at home, and to get to that stage and take on the big guns. And we were bullish going down, and it's great to get the result.
I was going to say, you had every reason to be bullish as well, because both Santosha and Caroline Dale had already run with great credit, hadn't they, in some of the bigger races?
Yeah, look, in my opinion, they were the strongest form going into the race. Obviously, there was a lot of money for Aidan O'Brien's horse, and completely understandable. When Aidan O'Brien sends a horse anywhere, you're gonna prick your ears and take note. But I felt Aidan O'Brien's horse had everything to prove yesterday. We didn't have anything to prove. We knew how good we were going in. The two fillies had proved themselves. I was kind of tossing and turning the last week about what to do, because I, in an ideal world, I wouldn't have ran the two of them against each other. We had Caroline entered for the Morecambe this Wednesday as well. Yeah. Hindsight, probably should have waited for the Morecambe with her. She's just a ball of speed, and she was very quick out in the stiff six in Ascot. She just got a bit lonely in front. She galloped on strongly to the line after she's been headed. But look, it's brilliant, to have a first and third in a Group 3, taking on the big names, and proving that we're more than capable of competing with the best if we're given the ammo.
Indeed you are, and a fairly comfortable watch as well, apart from perhaps when Santosha just began to hang left. I suppose Ascot's a vast open space, so you can forgive her for doing that. Yeah,
she was still a bit green. Tom said she ran in snatches for the first half of the race. She's still learning on the job. She's got tons and tons of ability. If Anthony's probably, as he said himself, when he came in, he'd hit the front too soon. But I can see why he went when he went. Caroline Dale was still travelling very strong on the bridle. He probably thought, if she quickens, she'll put the race to bed, so I need to get to work here. And it was a matter of stride. Santosha picked him up and put the race to bed, and she was just a bit green out in front. You could see her ears were flapping back and over, and she wasn't doing a whole lot when she hit the front, and she just drifted across. But Tom straightened her up, and she put to bed. It was probably visually, she probably didn't win as impressively as she actually did.
No, indeed.
It was a great performance.
And I think I'm right in saying she was your 5th two-year-old winner of the season, which I think 16 juvenile winners so far in your whole career, so pretty much a third of them this season. Is that a slight shift in focus for you this season then?
Not necessarily. I mean, we've probably had more owner breeders in the yard this year. We've bought a different type of yearling this year, a 2-year-old. It's probably taken us, the first couple of years we didn't have a lot of 2-year-olds. We never had a handful in, and a lot of them probably more 3-year-old types. But it's probably taken us 2 years really to work out our yard on how we need to train 2-year-olds. The first year we trained, they weren't sharp enough out of the gate, and then they were finishing strong. So the following year we put a lot of work into their stalls work and getting them jumping and travelling for the first half of a race, and then they were falling the hole halfway and not finishing out the races. So look, you learn from your mistakes, and we work on them, we improve them, and we've reaped the reward this year. We've done things a bit differently, and the 2-year-olds have been brilliant this year. And yes, we might have a nicer bunch of 2-year-olds, but we've made a few adjustments to our training of our 2-year-olds at the yard, and we've reaped the reward for that.
And with your business, I think only about 5 years old, one thing you sort of have done very well so far is improve horses you've got from elsewhere, and you did that yesterday as well with Trenchy on his first start for you at Wolverhampton.
Yeah. Poor old Trenchy probably got lost and missed him amongst the excitement of yesterday. We were kind of dragged in, myself and Sarah were dragged into a press conference after Santosha, and we came out and we were stood outside afterwards when Haley Moore just kind of nudged us from at the races and said, guys, you're about to have another winner. We only seen the last 50 yards of the race. So, but no, he did it brilliant. His work had been very good at home. Delighted for the owner, Mr. Soy. He's been a wonderful supporter of ours, and we've had a lot of luck for him. Look, we do things differently to a lot of places. We turn our horses out a lot, and we we're a small yard, 60, 65 horses. That's as big as we'll ever be, purely because we train horses as individuals. We're able to give them the time, and it gives us the time to work out what makes them tick. And that's something we've enjoyed doing a lot. And I always say a horse is like a puzzle, and we love working them out, and we get a great buzz out of working out what make horses tick to get the best out of them.
Well, they're certainly absolutely flying at the moment. Another recent winner was Lola Showgirl. Might we see her this week? I think I'm right in saying she holds an entry.
Yeah, she goes to air tomorrow, and I'd be lying if I said I think she'll take all the beat.
Yeah.
She's a very progressive filly. She'll be a much nicer filly next year. She still has plenty of growing to do and strengthening up. And I think up to a mile and a mile a quarter next year, she could be. I'd be fairly confident we could get a bit of black type into her next year. She's a nice filly. She's got a lot of ability. Fantastic sire in Night of Thunder, and she's a very good attitude. She wears her heart on her sleeve in her races, and she makes my job very easy.
I suppose having won by so far, you were obliged to turn her out under the penalty, were you?
Yeah, to be honest, we had planned. The plan was, she was unlucky not to have won before yesterday, or before last week. Purely she just kept bumping into one, and things didn't go away, but never ran a bad race. The initial plan was get her head in front, get a win into her, and we'd put her away to next year. But she did it that comfortably the other day. She came out of the race the following morning. She was bucking and kicking around the field, and we thought we can have one more crack here and get ourselves into a nice position that she'll have a fairly decent mark to put her away and bring her back for next year, and we can start targeting something a bit more upper scale.
Well, so there's a good fillies program in Dubai, Dave. You should bring her over in January.
She may be worth the trip. We'd absolutely love to come.
Well, let's hope so. Another one to mention quickly as well is Kaiser, who you won with a couple of weeks ago in the colours of Caroline Dale. And colours, I mean, owners that you know perhaps from your time with Tom Dascombe. Is that how that association came about?
Yeah, I got to know Dave and Janet while I was pupil assistant at Tom's, which obviously has worked out brilliantly for us in the long run. They're fantastic owners. They put a lot of money and a lot of effort into the game, and they deserve every reward they get and every nice horse they get. And they're, Kaiser's been with us a few years now. Myself and my wife Sarah picked him out ourselves in Doncaster. Sarah bought him, and he's been a real flagship for the yard. He's tipped away, and we were adamant he was just an all-weather horse, and he just didn't seem to be as effective on turf. And we just with the condensed race program over here at the moment, because of COVID-19, there's a massive lack of races on the all-weather, trying to get more turf races in during the season. And I said to the guys, look, we'll just give him one more crack. And if you said to me the morning of the race, how will Kaiser go over 10 furlongs in soft ground, I probably would have told you he'd have no chance. But I think we found another niche that may suit him. He absolutely hosed up. He loved it, and he's probably, he's not the best mover in the world. He feels his joints in his back a little bit, so he needs minding and kind of wrapping in cotton wool a little bit. And you always have to look after him. But I've never seen a horse come out of a race so well since we've had him, and he's thrived off it. We have him entered for Doncaster on Sunday, but we'll see what the weather does. But I certainly think he could be a nice horse for the back end of the season on turf and a lot of those big handicaps. He's certainly still well in. He's gone up £9 for that win, but he's still about £5 or £6 at hand off his all-weather mark. Yeah. We always thought he was a 90-plus horse as well, so we've plenty to look forward to.
I was going to say, all these horses seem to be winning by too far, Dave, but you want them in the higher grades, I guess, don't you?
We do. Look, it's about putting your horses in the right race. I mean, they say put your horse in the worst company and yourself in the best, but at the end of the day, we want our horses running to the best of their ability. We're trying to work to a level where we've nothing in the yard rated below 75 going forward. And it's just purely in a sense of if you have a 75 rated horse and he wins twice in a year, it gives an owner a chance of covering some of their costs.
Yeah.
Prize money isn't that strong at the moment, so we need to try and help out with costs and make it logistically feasible to have horses in training as much as we can. And that's our kind of target going forward. It gives us a better calibre of horse to work with. The staff at home are dealing with better horses every day. The owners are going to bigger meetings, bigger races, better prize money, and it just lifts everyone's morale. I mean, we're in the yard this morning, it's absolutely pouring rain, and everyone was going around with a smile from ear to ear and laughing and joking and singing, and it's amazing what a winner can do for a yard, especially on a big day like yesterday.
Yeah, and long may it continue. I may have cheekily suggested about Dubai with Lola Showgirl, but you have actually had some experience working for Darley, is that right, when you were in Australia with Peter Snowden?
Yeah, we did. Myself and Sarah did a stint. We weren't long there. We were travelling around Australia for a while. We kind of got to Melbourne and we worked under Peter and Paul Snowden in Flemington for a little while. It was a great experience. I mean, there was some nice horses. Obviously, Seapoy and Helmet were actually training in the yard while we were there. So it was around the time both of them would have gone over to compete in Dubai that we were there. So yeah, look, we had a bit of time there, and we went to Dubai. Went over to Dubai last year for a couple of days. We did the Dubai World Cup last year and stuff. So no, look, it's certainly an ambition to get there at some point with something.
Well, let's hope so. Certainly the yard heading in the right direction. Many thanks for talking to us, Dave. Let's hope the success continues, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.